If I could go to some other service, I didn't quite follow what you were
Yeah,
asking me.
that was pretty much it. If you had a choice of branches of service to choose,
Well,
which would you have chose?
well, we had a well. I don't know whether they had a choice or not. I volunteered to go into the Marine Corps when I knew I was going to have to go into service. The war was going on, and so the war started in 1941, December 41. So we all, and I had turned 18, so we all had to register for the draft. So I knew we had to go into service, and the Marine Corps was just opening up. So some of my thinking was the fact that if we go into the Marine Corps, if all of my buddies and I would go into the Marine Corps, we'd be together because there was only one base. If we went to the Army, they could scatter us all around the country. So that's what was my thinking initially. And of course, the reputation of the Marine Corps was impressive, and their uniform was impressive. So that all helped. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you both for coming, and you, sir.
Thank you.
My name's Dan Toomey. I'm retired Air Force, and I'm actually a member of the East Coast chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen. One of the things I want to ask you, gentlemen, were you aware that that also was going on, the Tuskegee Airmen mission, and did you take any lessons from that? And the other thing I would like to know, are there any good books that we can read to learn more about the Montford Point Marines? Thank you.
Well, during the war, I was not aware of Tuskegee Airmen, but after the war, I did become aware of them. I have a couple of friends that are Tuskegee Airmen. In fact, they're going to Texas, something going on in Texas now, but Tuskegee Airmen. Well, I don't remember all of your questions.
About books. There's only a few books out there about the history of the Montford Point Marines, and a good number of those books were put together by former Montford Pointers. One of them is called Roll Call, and it was written by a local gentleman by the name of Master Colonel Sergeant Herman Rhett.
One other thing, there's the I don't know if you're aware about the National Museum of the Marine Corps, which is just up past Quantico, down by Quantico on Route 1. Now, they have a lot of books in there now about Montford Point. There's Dr. McNairn from the University of North Carolina. He wrote a book, and there's Lieutenant Colonel Willis, he wrote a book, and there's several of them at the museum, at the National Museum of the Marine Corps.
Yeah, and for a listing, you can go into, we have a national website, www.montfordpointmarines.com.
Abamabo Young Marine, Lance Corporal Gerald. Being the first, African American Marine, excuse me, did it ever occur to you that you were being a part of history or making history?
Good question.
Yeah. Well, not initially. In fact, like I said, there was a war going on, and we didn't have much of a choice. We had to go in some service. So, and of course, we elected the Marine Corps. But it never dawned on me that we might be making history. No, not for me anyway.
I feel the same way. I didn't think that would ever be a part of history. And the thing about it, it was so late in years here that it's just recently, all the history is coming from the survivors of Montford Point. Because most of the time when we were in earlier, it seemed like the Marine Corps didn't care about black history in the Marine Corps at that time. So it's just now, in the last few years, really becoming just to light because of the stories that are coming from the black Marines.
Mine is not a question. I'm Angelina Witherspoon. I'm from Montford Point Young Marines. Gwendolyn and I are the COs of the unit now. And what we've started doing is, when our Young Marines come in, you see we're small because the unit had just went away. So we came back and we brought it up. So our unit is small right now, but what we are training them when they come in is about the Montford Point Young Marines. We sit and we have them do a report on what they can find out about Montford Point Young Marines. We like to thank you guys for serving for us. We also attended an event where we had a young man that acted out some of the scenes from the Montford Point Young Marines. I'm trying to get in touch with him if you know who he is. so that he can come to some of the units and show us that. We went to a luncheon or something that Mr. McNair had. And, but we'd like to thank you for your service and appreciate everything you've done for us.
All right.
Thank you.
Would you do it all over again?
I believe I would. Because I love serving my country. And I think that there's no other organization that I would want to be a part of. Because I think I'm just as good as any other branch of service or any other Marine.
Hoorah. Okay, we have time for one more question.
Upper Marlboro Young Marine, Private First Class Tyler. When you were a Marine, did you know that you were doing something really great for your country and that you were helping other people?
Yes. I was helping those people, and I didn't know that at that time that we was trailblazers, but I think we set the pace for those that came along behind us, and kind of made things easier for them. And yes, I believe so, and I'm proud of that fact, and I'm sure it's Brother Carpenter and all the rest of us.
Can we do one more? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Sure.
Good morning. My name is Yvette Laguan. I'm coming from Capital City. And my question was, I know that being a Marine is very important to you. And how does it impact you daily?
I didn't understand the question.
Could you repeat that? We didn't hear all of it.
How does being a Marine impact you daily?
Okay. How does being a Marine impact you daily?
Well, of course, it's my whole life, basically. In fact, I spent my whole life with the Marine Corps. As I said, I was fortunate because I was in administration when I was an enlisted. And when I came to headquarters Marine Corps, I was there when the Marine Corps was converting from manual system to automated system. So because of my experience as a clerk, typist, and administrative chief in the Marine Corps, they used me to help to convert from manual to automated system. We were going to IBM 1401 at that time, initially. So I was very active there. And the administrative system that the Marine Corps now uses as part of my effort to improve the Marine Corps' accounting systems. I was also involved, if those of you who went to Korea, I was involved in setting up the M313 expansible van with computers in them. And also in Vietnam, I was involved in the inflatable hut where the Marine Corps was putting computers in inflatable huts. So I was pretty active, and I got quite involved in it, and I became a data processing officer.
I would like to say, I'm proud of all our armed forces because I've had relatives in all branches of the service. Army, Navy, Air Force, I think, maybe not the Coast Guard, but I know Army, Navy, and Air Force, I've had relatives that serve in the armed forces. And I think they are all great. I just think mine is the best. Thank you.
And just to expound upon what they just said, being a military member, not only as a Marine, Army, Navy, or Air Force, it's a way of life. It's in your blood, and you'll just carry it with you to the day that you die. And I'd like to wrap it up right about now. I'd like to thank Jim Roberts and his fine staff of the American Veterans Center for inviting us out here and giving us an opportunity to tell our story. And you can tell this story on to somebody else, and we want to keep this legacy and history of the Montford Point Marines alive. Thank you very much.